difference is they've changed the upper, and that this is now integrated rather than a stitch.
Right, but you've got to talk about the plate. You've got to look like you know what you're talking about.
I know, but the plate hasn't changed.
Right, people, welcome back to the channel. We've got the stability shoe guru. Alan is back on today. We're filming again in the kitchen because it is minging outside. It's disgustingly wet. We've been out with Alan testing some stability shoes today, and we're back with the Wave Inspire 16 from Mizuno. Now, Alan has been running these for how
long? In terms of the Inspire brand, for about 18 months. I did 2 marathons in 2019 wearing Inspire 15.
Oh, you wore, yeah, really?
So I've been an Inspire 15 user previously, and obviously upgraded to the 16 when that came out at the start of the year.
Start of the year, something like that. Right, so just to give you some stats, and I'm reading these because I've got no idea. It's 10.1 ounces for the men's. It's got a 12mm drop. We've obviously got the Wave technology in the heel, which is all about adding stability and comfort in the heel area, and then giving that sort of bit of propulsion as well. But it's all about a stable ride in the heel area for us heel strikers. I think it's got the U4iX. And I might be wrong on this, and I probably should be looking up, and I'll look it up while you're talking about it, but I think it's got the U4iX midsole, but again, I'll look that up in a second. Probably should have done that before we start filming this. They've added some structure here on the side. The running bird is now integrated, so you've got some structure down the lateral side, and the upper is an engineered mesh upper, as most shoes, and the lacing's traditional as it is. It's quite rock solid, that heel counter as well. And that's about it. On the inside, you can see on the medial side, look, you can see where they've added the sort of technology in which incorporates this area. So this is where you're getting the stability to stop you falling in and collapsing. So that's the sort of ins and outs of it. I'm going to look up, by the way, what that is, Alan, while you talk about it. So, what does it feel like? Where have you been using it? What's the fit like, and all that sort of stuff?
So, as I said, I've been an Inspire user for a little while, using them pretty much as my go-to marathon training back in 2019. I think at the time, what worked for me was the stability element of the shoe really kind of helped some knee problems that I had. And I think the Wave plate contributed to that improvement in terms of my form. Obviously was quite keen to see what the 16 would do for me. If I'm honest, I kind of have moved away from them now. A couple of reasons. The toe box in terms of the 16 I found slightly narrower than the 15. I always felt a very generous toe box, and I never had any problems, as this one's just felt a little bit tight for the same sizing. I've also found that as I've improved as a runner, the advantage that the 15 gave of giving me a really rock solid base has now started to act against me, and I found these shoes, I struggle to be able to get up on my toes, and I've been trying to transition onto a more forefront runner, and I think the stability and the solidity of the shoe makes it a very stiff ride, and I found that quite uncomfortable when trying to do some more tempo work.
I mean, even in hand, right? It just feels solid. But even when you're running in it, Alan, you can see, like we was out and we was running in. I don't know if we've still got them, like the 860 version 11, and you could see that the foam and all that sort of moving as Alan was running. But with these, they just look like boom, boom, boom all the way along. It's so rigid and clunky.
And that was for me, as in terms of trying to get the form where I'm kind of getting up on my toes and building the speed into my runs, I've kind of just found they haven't really worked for me. And that's not to say they're not a good shoe. As I said, in 2019, when I was just trying to beat the marathon and stay on my feet for 4.5 hours, these were a great training shoe, and I really enjoyed putting them on. But now I'm trying to progress speed-wise, form-wise. I think I've kind of just outgrown this type of shoe. Yeah.
To come back on you, that is U4iC, but I pronounce it. It's called euphoric, right? But it's U4iC, is how it is. But that is, so I was right in terms of that. But yeah, for me, the problem is with Mizuno shoes, they feel like ASIC shoes like 3 or 4 years ago, where ASICS have gone through this massive transition of making now totally awesome shoes with like the Flight Foam Blast and all that sort of stuff. These seem to be a little bit stuck in the dark ages in terms of stability shoes.
So I think what I've heard people say is that Mizuno don't tamper much with the design, and you can see that in terms of the wave plates the same, the heel areas the same. They have integrated the design, but you don't get a lot of variation. And for traditionalists, people love that.
Yeah, people do love
they will wear
the Wave
version after version after version.
The Wave Rider is on version 24.
Yeah.
I mean, they've only just now they put that energy thing in it, and they've put that new foam in it. But basically, fundamentally, it's still the same shoe, which is not a bad thing. People love these shoes. People dig Mizuno shoes for the reasons that because it suits them, and that is. I think that's more than anything else to take away than any of these shoe reviews. If something suits you and it works, then stick with it. Don't be tempted to, like me and Alan, to play around and buy all these different shoes, unless you're a bit of a shoe geek. But what we try and say is that there's nothing wrong with it staying the same. But I think what you're trying to conclude is the fact that there's now better shoes out there. For in terms of stability shoes. There's better alternatives, stuff from New Balance in particular, just to highlight them and in particular runs in New Balance shoes. But they're really doing a different thing with the fresh foam, and it just feels a little bit more updated than it.
I think for New Balance, what I found is that they've just given me a bit of choice. They've got a variety of stability shoes now that allows me to run different types of run and feel like I've got the right shoe.
And that's the thing with stability. The shoemakers just went, we've got these people who need these stability shoes. We'll just make them like that. There you go, crack on. And where New Balance have said, no, actually, let's make these awesome as well. And I think they've achieved it. So, I think to conclude, finally, you get there in the end. If you're looking for a stability shoe, don't buy these. Buy where are they? Buy those. The 860 version 11.